Hey everyone, I'm going to take a look at some of the players who might be getting Player of the Week this week. I predicted 3 out of 11 last week. I did tell you my predictions would be terrible, so it shouldn't be too hard to do better, but knowing my luck, I'll probably do even worse. So we'll start with the goalkeepers, and there are 2 goalkeepers who I think have a really good shout with being in this week. Milinkovic-Savic had a great game for Torino against Atalanta, especially right at the end of the game where Atalanta had a penalty to equalise at the death, but Milinkovic-Savic made the save. It was a really good performance, so he has a really good chance of being in, but I think David Raya is going to get the nod. He had a really good game as well against Villa. He made one especially good save from Ollie Watkins. So I do think Milinkovic-Savic deserves to get it, but I think the fact that Raya plays for a partner club in Arsenal, I think he's going to get the nod this week. On to the centre-backs. Max Kilman had a good game for West Ham against Palace. He got an assist as well. Likewise, Eder Militao got an assist for Real Madrid in their win over Valladolid. I think there's another Real Madrid player who might be getting in this week, so I don't think Militao will be getting in on that basis. There's one centre-back I do think will get in, and that's Romero from Tottenham. He had a good game against Everton, and we know they like to include defenders when they scored a goal, and that's exactly what Romero did. So I think this week our one centre-back will be Romero from Spurs. We have a few options at right-back. So Hakimi had a good game for Paris Saint-Germain against Montpellier. They demolished them 6-0. Hakimi got a goal and an assist, so he would be a really good shout, but as with Eder Militao, there's another player from Hakimi's team I think is going to get in, so for that reason I don't think he's going to make it. Di Lorenzo also got a goal, and it was a really good goal against Bologna. He's a good shout as well, but for our right back this week, I think it's going to be Llorente from Atletico Madrid. He scored a great goal. He picked the ball up around the halfway line. He just ran forward, no one closed him down. So he just absolutely wellied it straight over the goalkeeper's head. Really good goal. I think Llorente is going to get in this week as a right back. At left back, Jacobs had a good game for Monaco versus Lyon. I think he's a good shout to get in. But I suggested this guy last week. I'm going to go for him again, Galeno. Again, he looks like he played at left back for Porto. Last week he scored a goal. We know they like to favour defenders when they score a goal for Player of the Week. It was only a penalty last week, but this week it was a really nice goal. He scored it seconds into the game. There was a diagonal ball across the box over to the left, and he scored an acrobatic volley. So I'm going to suggest Galeno this week for left back, and I reckon they'll give him the acrobatic finishing skill. For our centre midfielders, I think Andreas Pereira has a decent shout this week. He had a good game against Leicester. I think Veerman of PSV could also be in as well. We know they like to include an Eredivisie player most weeks. They absolutely demolished Almere away from home, so he could be in. But 2 centre mids who I think will make it this week. Firstly, João Neves. I mentioned Hakimi, in my opinion, won't make it in because there's already a PSG player getting in, and João Neves is that guy. He got 2 assists on his debut, and he's got another 2 assists in his second appearance against Montpellier. So I think João Neves could well be in this week as a centre mid. And Fred, the world famous goal scoring midfielder, got a hat-trick for Fenerbahce away to Rizespor. So for a hat-trick, I think it's a really, really good shout for Fred to be in this week as a centre midfielder. It'll be very interesting to see what kind of build they put in him as well. So Fred this week for me could be in as a centre mid. On to the attacking midfielders. Kevin De Bruyne had a really good game for Man City against Ipswich. We've had quite a few Kevin De Bruyne Player of the Week cards. Will they do yet another one? I don't know if they will. I don't think anyone would be surprised if they did, but I think we've had that many, and it was no disrespect to Ipswich, but it was only against Ipswich. I'm not sure they'll put him in again. Musiala is a good shout. Obviously, Bayern are a partner club. He had a good game against Wolfsburg. Very good chance he could get Musiala, but I'm not sure his performance is quite good enough to get him Player of the Week. Bit of a wild card, but could we see Marco Reus? We've only seen 1 Player of the Week from the MLS before, as far as I can recall anyway. That was a Messi card, and Messi's obviously an ambassador, so would Reus get the same treatment? He came on for his debut against Atlanta United for LA Galaxy. He got a goal and an assist. So performance-wise, I think he's done enough to get in, but would they put another MLS player in? I'm not sure. It could be an interesting one if they did, though. Cole Palmer had another really good game for Chelsea. He got a hat-trick of assists and a really nice goal with a lob. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if they put Palmer in, but he's another player who I think one of his teammates could be getting this week. So for that reason, I'm not sure Palmer's going to make it. 2 attacking mids I do think are going to make it, though. Tovan for Udinese. I saw the game against Lazio. He had a really good game. He got a really nice assist early on, outside of the boot cross for the first goal early in the game. And then in the second half, he scored a really nice solo goal as well. Picked the ball up on the halfway line, and the Lazio defenders just kept backing off, so he just kept on running and running all the way into the box, poked it in the bottom corner. Really nice goal from Tovan. I think with the goal and the assist he got and his overall performance, he could well be in this week as an attacking mid. And I think Rafinha is a good shout as well. He had a really good game for Barcelona. Normally he's a wide man, Rafinha, right or left, but he was playing in the kind of number 10 role this week, quite central as an attacking midfielder. So could be a very interesting card if they give us this one. And because they're a partner club, of course, they love Barcelona. I think there's a really good chance. So for me this week, I think we could well see Rafinha as an attacking midfielder in Player of the Week. We have a few options for wide men, wingers this week. So, Savinho had a good game for Man City. I think De Bruyne and Haaland probably play better, but they've done that many Player of the Week versions of De Bruyne and Haaland. Would they mix it up and put Savinho in? I think he played well enough. I wouldn't be surprised if they put him in, so he's a shout. Gnabry, like with Musiala, plays for Bayern, partner club. Would they put him in for that reason? Because he played quite well? Quite possibly. But did he quite do enough to get Player of the Week? I'm not sure. He played well, but I'm not sure he was that amazing. Luis Diaz had a very good game for Liverpool. I wouldn't be surprised at all if they made it in. It was a good performance from him. Likewise, Kvaratskhelia for Napoli was fantastic. Probably man of the match. I was very close to including him in my 11 predictions. I think he's a very good shout, but I'm not sure he's quite going to make it. The one wide man I do think is going to make it this week is Madueke. I mentioned Cole Palmer played really well, but might not make it, and Madueke is the reason why. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Palmer did make it, but I just think with a few versions of Cole Palmer in the past in Player of the Week, Madueke has not been in Player of the Week before, and he got a fantastic hat-trick. I think Madueke might make it this week as a right winger. Up front, we got a few options. So Danny Welbeck had a good game for Brighton against his former side Man U. He got a goal, hit the woodwork as well, so could have had two. I think he had a good performance. I'm not sure it's quite enough to get him in this week though. Erling Haaland certainly was a great performance. Hat-trick, the guy's a machine. Will they put him in? I think we've had that many Player of the Week cards. I think they'll probably wait until he puts in one of these performances against a big team. No disrespect to Ipswich. And likewise with Gyökeres. I think with Gyökeres puts in this kind of performance against one of the big teams in Portugal, we might see him in Player of the Week. I think the fact it was against Firenze, again, no disrespect, but I don't think that it was a big enough match for them to really consider it a Player of the Week worthy performance. But nonetheless, he got a hat-trick. Looks fantastic. I wouldn't be surprised if he did make it in. But two strikers I do think will make it in. I think Che Adams is going to be in. He had a really good game for Torino against Atalanta. I watched the game, got a really nice assist in the first half, and he scored the winning goal. It was a good performance. I would not be at all surprised if Che Adams makes it in. We know they're like a sneaky 4-star or two. He could well be a 4-star card. Another player who could be a 4-star card this week, our other striker suggestion, Endrick for Real Madrid. Came off the bench, scored the goal. His first goal for Real Madrid. So a super sub Endrick card, quite possibly a 4-star. I think Real Madrid might look at it as one of those cards where there's hype around Endrick, and it might be one that gets people spinning for him. So I think Endrick could well be in this week as a centre forward. So those are my predictions for Player of the Week this week. I think we're going to see a David Raya goalkeeper card. Could well be a booster. I think Rafinha could be in as an attack midfielder. Could be a very interesting card, that one. I don't think we've seen one as an attack midfielder before. Llorente is an attacking fullback. If he's not already got long range shooting, they'll certainly give him it. Tovan, I think, really deserves to be in. I think it was a really nice game. I'll be really interested if we see a Tovan card in Player of the Week. Fred scored a hat-trick. That could be a really fun card as well. Endrick, I think there'll be a lot of hype around that one. The first featured Endrick that we've had in the game, if we get that, it'll be a super sub as well. Che Adams could be an interesting one. Probably a deep line forward, be an interesting card, I think, if we get him. Galeno, I think, could well be in as a left back with acrobatic finishing. I'm not sure it'll be a brilliant card, but it could be a very interesting one. Certainly very different to previous ones we've had of Galeno. Madueke with his hat-trick for sure as a right winger could be a very nice looking card. Romero centre right, we've had him in Player of the Week before. I think twice before I had one of them. Very, very nice card. Could be another one. And then João Neves, an assist machine so far for PSG, could be a really, really nice centre midfielder card. So those are my predictions. Let's see if I can do better than the 3 I got last week. Probably not. And just like last week, a little bonus for you. Goal of the week for me. Whittaker scored a really nice goal for Plymouth away to QPR. Lovely strike. Llorente, as I mentioned, scored a real banger for Atletico Madrid. And Tovan, likewise, really nice solo goal. I'm going to go for Di Lorenzo, though. If you've not seen his goal already, I'll try and put a link on the screen around about now for you to check it out. Brilliant team goal. He started the move and he finished it. Really, really nice goal. And it was a lovely pass from Kvaratskhelia to set him up as well. And match of the week for me, again, I mentioned it, Torino versus Atalanta. Doesn't look like it was a banger on the face of it, 2-1 to Torino, but it was a really enjoyable game. I enjoyed the pace of the game. Both teams had a lot of good moments going forward and defensively. It's a really good match, a really good advert for Serie A. I would recommend check out the highlights. I'll try and put a link on the screen around about now if you've not seen it already. So, with all that being said, there's just one more thing to add in this video. Konami, please put something in the point store. I have 19,400 points expiring in 5 days. There is nothing to spend my points on. Please put some players in the point store, or some strips, or just anything that isn't EXP training programs. Anyway, cheers for watching. Hope you found that interesting. Let me know how terrible you think my predictions are. Who do you think is going to win Player of the Week this week? Let me know. I might do a stream at some point, possibly today or later this week. I'm thinking about maybe streaming an old PES, like PES 18 Master League, something like that. Be a bit different. Otherwise, I'll be seeing you on Thursday for Player of the Week. So, cheers again for watching. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you soon.